Dear friends, may I begin by giving my deepest thanks to Ray for his kind and generous invitation to not only share this wonderful day with her and with you, but to preach at this service as well. And can I also then thank Canon Stephen and indeed Bishop Christine for honouring that invitation. I tell you, it's a joy to be here with you this day. I bring Ray and all gathered here greetings from Glasgow, from the city, from Glasgow University, where we met at its Anglican chaplaincy, and indeed from my own church of St. Bride's in the West End of Glasgow. Glasgow played a key part in Ray's life and in what has brought her to this moment here in Byker in Newcastle. And of course there are great similarities between the two cities. Both are cities on great rivers, the Tyne and the Clyde. Both knew great prosperity from shipbuilding, from their docks, from heavy industry, from the mining. And both cities suffered the dreadful blight of the programme of deindustrialisation of the 1980s, and have had to regrow and rediscover themselves. Oh, both cities love their football. But above all, both are cities of people who are warm and generous in their affections. No wonder Ray's relationship with God took off big style, it was always there, but took off big style in Glasgow, and has grown and given her a home here among you. And a home she has indeed found here. Ray and I meet from time to time to talk about life and her life in God and her life with Craig and Nis and family, but also her life here among you, the people of Newcastle, of Byker and of Walker. And I know that it will be a hard break looking ahead for her when the time comes for her to leave, having served her curacy. So I want to take this moment to thank you, the people of St. Martin's and St. Anthony's, and all the people of the area, for loving Ray and for looking after her so well. For I tell you that Ray is a priest and a person to be cherished. I won't rehearse for you the details of Ray's pilgrimage with God. Some of it you will know, and most of it anyway, is for Ray to tell as and if she determines to do so. But it is little short of biblical in its miraculous nature. Now, the problem with miracles is that we tend to think of them as events in the past. In the Bible, for sure, perhaps of the saints, perhaps in the past of our own lives, or those whom we know and love. But the truth is that miracles and the miraculous is ever present, ever growing, a continuous example of the faithfulness of God, the evidence of God's love. Think of it, if you will, like a great melody, or perhaps sometimes in a tune, a single note, perfectly and perfectly placed in the composition. It sits in the air with us, haunting us, staying with us. And so too the miracle sits in the air for us to tune into at any time. Listen. Hear the miraculous around you. And the miracle grows, never diminishes or dwindles away. And so with your new priest, each time I meet with Ray, I see that growing. Physically in stature, psychologically in confidence, emotionally in love, and spiritually faith, vocation, discipleship. Here is as good an example of God's love among us as you could wish to find. And why would you not wish to be part of a church, Church of England for heaven's sake, that has recognised Ray's gifts and has ordained her to the sacred office of the priesthood? Why would you not wish to worship at a church, St. Martin's or St. Anthony's, wherever it's going to be, where Ray is the priest, celebrating the holy mysteries? Bring your friends. One of the lovely things about this morning's service in the cathedral is the chance to meet people. I'm a stranger and outsider coming down from Scotland, so it's lovely to meet people, particularly, I would say, amongst the clergy who have known Ray. And I met Ian, DDO, who oversaw discernment and progress through the many stages that it takes to be finally recognised and ordained as priest. And indeed, I wrote to Ian one of the references for Ray as in my capacity as Anglican chaplain at Glasgow University. And I just tell one story. There are lots and lots of stories, but one story, and it was what I wrote in reference. We occasionally take students away to a little island off the Ayrshire coast, to Cumbria, with a lovely little college for retreats, beautiful little cathedral. It's perhaps, other than St. David's, the smallest cathedral in these islands. And we were gathering on a Friday afternoon outside the university, minibus ordered, waiting for people to turn up, looking around to see who was still not with us. And I saw this priest walking across and coming towards us. I thought, oh, who is that? And then I realised it was Ray, not a priest by any manner of means at that time, but bearing the priestliness, the complete bearing of the priesthood with her. Never was there any doubt in my mind that this day would come. Our readings tell us that ultimately this day is about the holy mystery of God. We are reflecting on the Holy Spirit in our readings. And the Holy Spirit is in many ways the most mysterious part of the Trinity. We can sort of get a hold on the idea of God the Father, in large part through knowing God the Son, but God the Holy Spirit. Dangerous stuff, the Holy Spirit. Remember how it is described at Pentecost, the great celebration of the Holy Spirit. Like the sound of a mighty rushing wind, like tongues of fire resting on the heads of the disciples. Wind and fire. Mighty winds disrupt and even destroy everything. Storms blow houses down. Open a window during the storm and watch everything blown around. Fires burn and consume all. And yet we love the gentle breeze that drifts off the sea. We love the light that comes from a fire, the flame and the warmth that sustains it. And then at the baptism of Jesus, remember, the Holy Spirit descends like a dove. Think of the gentle cooing of the dove, or the purring of the turtle dove. So evocative of gentle, warm summer's days like this. The very image of love. The Holy Spirit, then, gentle and loving, but also furious and fierce. The fire of the imagination and the consolation of the sorrowing. The joyous swirl of love and the transforming power of the creative Spirit. In the Eucharistic prayer, your new priest will ask God the Father to pour out the Holy Spirit on us, and that through the offerings that we will give, we may be transformed. It's a moment of gentleness and love. It's a moment of us being asked to recall our Saviour's sacrifice and his command to us, do this in remembrance of me. But it is also a moment of great power, the power to transform our lives, each and every one of us. At my own church, at the offertory, the preparation of the gifts, the people are invited thus. Let us present our offerings to the Lord with reverence and with godly fear. And I invite you and your new priest to keep these words before you as you prepare to come to the altar to receive communion or a blessing. That you, she, I, all of us come before God and before the power of God and the Holy Spirit in reverence and in fear, but always, always in love. Dear friends, we gather here in worship and in love, but also in witness and celebration. We are witnessing the coming before God of a new member of those ordained to the sacred office of the priesthood. There is a sense in which this morning's ordination is not fulfilled until the bread has been blessed and broken and the wine shared. It is the honour and privilege of us all to be part of the community in which this will now happen. And in the act of communion, we celebrate the victory of love, the victory of life, and the victory of faith. And of course, we celebrate and give thanks to God for the gift of the Church's new priest, Reverend Dr. Caro. May she be blessed in her priestly ministry and be a blessing to you, to the Church, and to